guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a little bit of coloring. This is my new obsession, you guys. I have bought a lot of these really cute cozy little coloring books, and I'm obsessed. I've been using some of the markers that I bought in that one vlog where we went to TJ Maxx, and I also invested in some nicer ones. So we're just going to do a little bit of coloring, a little bit of hangout time, and just kind of yap about where I'm at right now. So yeah, if you're doing anything crafty, then I hope that you are successful in that. So this is what we're coloring today. A little shower scene, super cute. Okay. And if you are curious, I will have all of these things. Well, maybe not this because I got this at TJ Maxx. I don't know if it's on Amazon, but I'll have all of this linked in my Amazon storefront if you want to like check out what stuff I'm using. Okay, so life has been crazy as per usual. So with the medication, like, I started it, and for 2 weeks straight, I was in heightened anxiety and just feeling absolutely like trash and misery. And it was awful. And then for 2 weeks after that, it was like all of the life had been drained out of me, and I was also miserable, but it was more like I was wavering between mild to severe depression, which was really hard for me because like I started to get really paranoid that I was going to be one of those victims that like ends up killing themselves because of antidepressants. So I was really nervous, but things have balanced out, and I would say for about a week now, I finally feel good. Like I actually feel like this is what somebody's experience is supposed to feel like, or somebody's positive experience is supposed to feel like on an SSRI. So yay, I don't have to like worry about it being the wrong fit and having to go down this path again, which I'm very glad about because I was really nervous that I was going to have to like switch medications and go through that whole process again. So big relief for me. Very glad. But yeah, I feel hopeful. Like I have hope in my heart. And I know that that may sound like, cool, okay. No, I haven't felt hope. Genuinely, I don't know if I can recall the last time I felt hopeful. And I was telling my friend, like, it was funny because I was like, what is this feeling? Like, what is this vibe? And it took me a minute to like realize that I just feel like overall, generally hopeful about everything, like my future, me as a person, my marriage, like it's awesome. So yay, I am glad that things are finally like settling in, and that I get to receive the benefits of this medication. Still going to therapy, still doing, we're working our way to start EMDR therapy. For those of you that don't know, that stands for eye movement desensitization. Wait, EMD and reprocessing. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So it's supposed to be really good for people with, complex trauma, but I've also heard that some people with CPTSD don't respond to it. So hopefully I am one of the people that will be responsive to it. But already during the prep work, which we've literally been doing for weeks, I love my therapist. She's very educated, and she's making sure that I am very grounded and secure before we start the desensitization process. So, but anyways, I already feel like it's starting to lift shit, because one of the things that you have to do in the prep work is learn about and understand what your core issues are, or your core belief system. And so we've been exploring, what my earliest negative core belief was, and what memories have been attached to that belief in my childhood, and also like just throughout my whole life. And after that day in therapy that we explored that, for those of you curious, mine was I am bad. And the way that we discovered that, I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he like made this theory, and it's like well documented and proven to be like accurate. But she handed me this sheet because I was like, I don't know what my beliefs are. Like I know what I feel, but I don't know like what belief is attached to those things. And so she gave me this paper, and it has like different segments of age and the beliefs, or the negative beliefs that are likely being developed at that stage of your life, depending on like, how your brain is developing. And in utero and like up to 2 years old, it was, I am gonna die. Like that is the belief, I am gonna die, because you're in survival mode. And then the second one from 2 to 4 years old, which was the one that I resonated with, was I am bad. And from 2 all the way up to, I think it was like preteens or early teenage years, the main emotion of like all of the beliefs within that age range was shame, which is something that like, that can really truly sum up what my experience has been with like my trauma. I have a lot of shame. So yeah, anyways, so once we identified that, I had to like look through my life and identify times where I felt I am bad was reaffirmed. And after that, so the day of my therapy on Thursday, I was fine. But then the next Friday, I had like a full on like mental breakdown. And I think what happened, I don't know like what I think that the therapy triggered it, but I don't know what exactly like led me into the thought process, but I started spiraling, and I reached this place of being 16 years old again, laying in my bed, just completely hopeless and devastated and so terrified that I was always going to feel that way, and absolutely crushed that nobody was helping me. Nobody was listening to me. I wasn't being taken seriously. I was being told that I was dramatic, that that I'm too much, that I'm just causing a scene, that I just do what I was doing, like for instance, my self-harm, that all of that was just self-seeking and selfish acts, and I was trying to get attention and so on and so forth. And so like what I would consider I think that was like what I would consider an emotional flashback. So I do think that the EMDR therapy is going to be helpful, just because if I already had like such a strong reaction to the prep work, then I feel like the actual EMDR therapy would be, a step up from that. And the way that my therapist describes it is like therapy is like you're sweeping away at the debris being your trauma. EMDR is taking a hacksaw and chopping into it. So it's not for everybody, but I have a lot of hope for it. I think it's going to go well. But yeah, it was quite a rough adjustment for me to get used to my Zoloft. But again, I think that it really is making a big difference. I think I've mentioned it before in another vlog. I don't take my anxiety medication every day, but when I do take it, it's so beneficial. And for those of you curious, the cocktail that I'm on right now is propranolol for anxiety and Zoloft for depression. I just reached 250 milligrams of Zoloft, and I felt that about the 200 mark is where I felt the most like difference in my mood. But leading up to that, it was definitely a really hard journey. So if you are on an SSRI journey, don't give up. Please keep going. It may not feel the best at first, but it's not always going to stay that way. And if it does, you are always allowed to adjust as needed. You don't have to stay in a really nasty spot. So yeah. But like, I feel like I have more time to just like be now. Like, I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say bored. No, I'm still like entertained. And in fact, I'm really enjoying the process of like not being stressed out all the time. It's definitely different. It's definitely something that I'm trying to get used to. Okay, where's the cool gray? Hello? I literally just had it. Okay, there it is. It's something that I'm trying to get used to, but I think I can get used to it. But also the other thing is like, I started to really dread like doing tarot for work. I started to really hate the process of it altogether, and it was really hard to pull myself together to do readings. And then obviously, like, while I was going through all of the adjustment to my medication, that was obviously also difficult. So I've been through a little bit of a rough time with that career path. But lately, since I'm feeling so good, I actually fell back in love with it. And I'm having a better time than I've ever had doing readings for people. And I'm noticing like I'm attracting more people that like, that want to like stick around and get to know me. And I feel like it's a little bit easier for me to show who I am and what I'm about. And I don't know, I just feel like my confidence is a little bit more pronounced, which I love. So yay. I will say there are a lot of things that like I want to do. Like, I kind of feel like streaming on Twitch has taken a bit of a back step. Not because I don't want to do it, but just because like I don't really have the time. I think I'm prioritizing things differently now, which I'm proud of myself for, because in the past I would prioritize content creation over literally everything and anything else. And now I'm prioritizing my mental health, my self-care routines, keeping my home clean, and just like really taking care of me. And also socializing. I'm spending more time talking to friends and doing the things that make me want to live. So I think that it's definitely been challenging in some ways because I'm used to like going. But I think that it's significantly making a difference in like how happy I am and so on. But yeah, coloring has been something that I've always loved to do. I've always been very artsy fartsy. Ew, I hate that term. I've always been very artsy, and it's nice to return to that in like an adult way. I think these are super fun, and having like the fancy markers is like, I don't know, it feels nice. It feels good. Today is a really rainy day outside. It's so nice. It's like picture perfect right now. Like it's raining and cold. I'm all bundled up. I'm warm, and we're doing a little crafting together. I love how the shower curtain turned out. I need to put some shadows on it, but I think it's super cute. The other good thing that I've been noticing, for those of you that don't know, I am diagnosed with seronegative lupus, which means basically that it's there. I have lupus, but it won't show up on blood tests. But anyways, so I'm on a medication called hydroxychloroquine, and basically what it does is slowly removes inflammation or lessens it in my body. And it takes a few months to kick in, and usually it takes about 2 to 3 months. Mine took 6 months or 5 months. And I was really afraid that it wasn't going to work, that it was like a waste of my time. But we persisted. Me and my doctor decided it would be a good thing to like continue doing. And I'm glad that we did, because it finally started to work. And now, like for instance, I used to not be able to kneel because of the inflammation in my knees. It was so bad. Now I can literally sit in my bed cross-legged. I can kneel down. I can sit in the Scandinavian squat. So it's definitely making a huge difference, which is life-changing for me. I can't even like tell you how awful it was to be stuck in a body that like I can't bend in. For those of you that know, you know. Terrible. But yeah, it's been super nice. So overall, I kind of feel like I've got a lot of improvements going on. My body's going through some big changes, and I'm proud of it for carrying me the way through. Also, part of the prep work for the EMDR, so you have to identify your negative or maladaptive core belief, and we're just doing one at a time. Some therapists do it like a little bit more loose, but she prefers a controlled approach because she finds it more effective. And I agree from how she's described it to me. Anyways, so we look at the maladaptive core belief, and then we also, alongside that, need to find something to replace it with or to reprocess it with. And basically you just choose a belief that like cancels out the maladaptive one. So with my maladaptive belief being I am bad, we chose the belief I am human, which she said that like we could change it at any point. I kind of do feel like I am going to change it. Just because like, I think maybe I am human feels a little bit closed. I think that I need to pick something that's more open, just so that I'm not like overthinking it when she mentions it to like bring me back into my body. Do I want to do water in the tub? Yes, I do. But yeah, the other night, during one of my lives, there was a really amazing moment where a bunch of people were commenting what they were going through personally when they met me and started getting readings from me. And it was so touching, like so impactful, because when I decided on the belief of I am human, it really was a challenge for me because I couldn't think of any instances where I was like, I'm human, I'm making a good impact, I am good. But hearing everybody comment about like how my readings have impacted them in a positive way was so helpful for how I perceive myself. Really, really, really beautiful. And I'm grateful that that I was able to stay open and receptive to that, because I think that maybe in the past I would have either closed myself off to it or it wouldn't have been as impactful. Not to say that like I wouldn't have been grateful for it, but I would have maybe like not appreciated it as much. So I think that, I believe that most everything happens for a reason. So I think that that came exactly when it was supposed to. I need to look up how to like draw water. I ruined it. Right. So we'll just make it a bubble bath. Okay. We're going to move on from that. I think the theme of this bathroom is like cucumber, water, spa, greens, blues, those types of things. Right. I did not want the towels to be that color, but that's okay. I think adding all the shadows and details and things is my favorite part. For those of you that have been listening to my mental health chats since I announced that I was struggling. If you were curious, the thing that I'm still not quite ready to admit to or talk about in public, I have stopped. So, yay. I do have a little slip up here and there, but I would say it's 97% done. Or that I don't do it 97% of the time. So I think that that's a huge improvement from where I was, because I was doing the thing the reverse amount of time. That, I don't know if that made sense. I was doing it 97% of the time. If you're doing something that is along the lines of self-harm, and you know it's not great for you, don't give up on yourself. I'm not telling you not to do it. But don't give up trying not to do it. Also, my hot take on that is some self-harm coping mechanisms can be beneficial. Now, obviously, it's not the healthier option, it's not the best option, but does it keep you alive? Does it allow you to function? Because I would argue that those things are more important than killing yourself. So, do what works for you at this stage of your life. Obviously, you want to strive to not do those things, but sometimes that is not realistic. And I get that. I understand that. But obviously, seek help. Okay, well, the purple that I just added kind of threw everything off. But here's what we're working with so far. The bubbles are a disaster. I know. But I believe in my creative ability to fix this. I used the wrong shade of gray on the walls, and now it looks like there's mildew on the walls. You know what? She gets depressed too. Has a hard time taking care of her bathroom. Everybody goes there sometimes. It happens. It's bad. I fucked it up. I'm sick. Look at it. The light. So, we're gonna persist. I'm not gonna give up on this. Okay, I'm adding some roses on the wall. So, the theme of this is gone. And now I'm just kind of doing what I can Not a fan of this. Something unique that I have been struggling with, given like my history with addiction and things like that, is I have found myself feeling guilt and like fear and shame. And I think that it's intertwined with like how my OCD, like what themes my OCD gravitates towards. But I have noticed that I'm afraid that I am abusing my medication, which, first of all, that's just fucking crazy that like that I would convince myself that I could be abusing an SSRI. That would not be fun. Secondly, it has made me realize, I think, like, so part of my OCD ruminations is like constantly feeling like I'm in denial of something and like having to do a bunch of self-searching. And I think that it, you know, I'm not entirely sure like where the actual root is, but I think I adopted a lot of it from when I was first getting into like new age spirituality, because it's all about like, look deeper. If you think you know everything, like you need to look deeper because you don't know everything. And so I just feel like I've gotten to a place where with my OCD that like requires me to constantly be checking, which is not fun. So with, for example, my anti-anxiety medication, like I have never had a medication actually work like that. This is my first like successful go around with, medication. And so my mind immediately was like, oh, so you're abusing it. You took it once a day, because I don't have to take it every day. You took it once a day for a week straight. What does that mean? Bitch, it means I'm anxious. It means I'm anxious and I have a medication that I'm prescribed and I'm allowed to take it. Fuck. But yeah, I expressed that to my therapist and she she helped me work through it, but I still have that feeling of like, what if you're lying to everybody? What if you're just making it all up just to get medication, which would be actually the performance of a lifetime because things have sucked. So if you know what I'm talking about, you're not doing that. It's okay. Take your medication. You're allowed to feel good. And I also, I feel like maybe it kind of ties into that core belief that I was telling you guys about of like, I am bad. Like there's this constant feeling that like I have done something wrong, and that I need to like figure it out so that I can be better. So wretched. I don't know. It's okay. It's not the vibe that I was going for initially, but what do we think of the wallpaper? It's all right, right? It's okay. Okay, we've just got the floor. I think we should do like a nice calm yellow. Right, so this is green. Okay. Now we just need to do the towel and the plant. So cute. Okay, now I'm gonna add the little white details. Cute. Okay, I think we're done. I think we're done, guys. Look at it. How amazing. We did it. Yay. So yeah, this has been my obsession. Let me show you the things that I've done. So freaking cute. I've done a lot. It's not that much. This is the last one. So cute. I highly recommend getting a little book and getting some alcohol markers and having fun. I love you guys. Thanks for another mental health yap, and thanks for crafting with me or doing whatever you were doing. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I love you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye.